Hey, science kids, welcome to science, because science is cool. I'm Teacher Wendy. Before I was a teacher, I was a scientist. I was an engineer. Now I teach science. I'm a science teacher. That's pretty cool. I have all sorts of really cool and interesting things that I want to teach you. Each week we will explore a new topic. A lot of these topics come with a special science experiment or art project or cooking project, because although science is cool, cooking is cool, art is cool, and science experiments are very cool. Our first unit of discussion is nocturnal critters. Critters could be bugs or birds or mammals, anything that is awake at night, because that is what nocturnal means. Nocturnal are creatures that are awake at night. And no, people are not nocturnal. Sometimes we have trouble sleeping, but for the most part, people sleep during the nighttime and they're awake at day. Nocturnal critters are creatures that are mostly awake at night and sleeping during the day. Now, you can see some of these creatures during the day, but their most active time is at night. And that's because, for the most part, that's when their food is awake. Now, we people can go get food anytime we want, but these creatures out in nature, if they're hungry, they have to be awake when their food's awake. So, if your food's awake at night, you're awake at night. If you're awake at night, you're nocturnal. We are going to start off our unit on nocturnal critters with one of my favorites, the bat. Bats are so cool. This kind of bat is a kind of bat you see in Minnesota where I live, the brown bat. There's big brown bats and there's little brown bats. I've even had one in my house before. I'll show you a movie about that later. We are going to read some cool books about bats. We are going to learn some interesting facts about bats. We're going to watch some movies about bats. And then you're going to make your very own bat art project. And I have a little cooking surprise for you too, kind of a special snack that you can put together at your house. So, let's get started. Bats are cool, and science is cool. So before we read our story, which is going to tell us a lot about bats, I want to just kind of show you some examples of bats. Different sizes and shapes that they come in. This here is a little brown bat, or the big brown bat, the kind we find in Minnesota, and they typically eat a lot of insects. I know when I've seen them flying around my house at night, they're probably eating mosquitoes. They're not as big as this one. But I really appreciate that because I don't like mosquitoes. Another kind of bat that doesn't live here, the biggest kind of bat there is this one right here. Oh, it doesn't even fit on the screen. There we go, I'll back up. This is the flying fox bat, otherwise called the fruit bat. If you've ever read the story Stellaluna, it's about a baby one of these. Stellaluna was a baby fruit bat or flying fox bat. This kind of bat does not eat insects. It eats fruits, mangoes or whatnot, and they live in tropical climates. Pretty cool, huh? This bat is really, really big. Look at the eyes on this one. This one has some very big eyes. Smallest bat is about this big. It's called the bumblebee bat or the hognose bat, and it lives in Thailand along the river, not close to us at all. It's so cute, isn't it? Super cute. So bats come in different sizes, but they're all nocturnal. They share that with each other. They are nocturnal. So let's learn some cool bat facts about all these bats. Let's start off with a book. Bats, Creatures of the Night. No one has lived on this farm for years. The barn looks empty, but it isn't. Strange creatures are sleeping in the loft. As the sun goes down, they take to the air. They come flying out of the windows. They swoop low over the river. They dart under an old bridge. From far away, the creatures look like birds, but who ever heard of a bird with fur? Close up, they look like mice, but who ever heard of a mouse with wings? These strange creatures are bats. Bats are mammals, just like rabbits and horses and dogs, just like us. Many people think that bats are blind, but that's not true. Bats have eyes and they can see. It's just that they spend most of the time in the dark. There is one thing that makes bats different from other mammals. They can fly. Bat wings are not like bird wings. Bats do not have feathers. A bat's wing is really an arm with a hand. Its long, thin fingers are joined by a flap of skin. Bats even have little thumbs. There are about 1,000 different kinds of bats in the world. The largest bat is called the Samoan flying fox. From wing to wing, it's as big as a Canada goose. The smallest is the bumblebee bat. You've probably heard of the vampire bat. Does the vampire bat really drink the blood of animals? Yes, it does. It lives in Mexico and in South America, where it bites cows and horses. Are vampire bats dangerous to people? No. Like other bats, they are less dangerous than raccoons or skunks and other wild creatures. What do other bats like to eat? Some drink the juices of flowers just as hummingbirds do. Some eat fruit. The bulldog bat even catches fish. But most bats eat insects, flies, moths, and mosquitoes. This spotted bat is about to catch a moth. How can it find insects in the dark? It uses its ears. A bat makes noises when it flies. Click, click, click. The moth flies by. The clicks bounce off the moth. They make an echo. The echo tells the bat where the moth is. The bat moves very fast. It scoops up the moth with the tip of its wings. Bats hunt only at night. During the day, they sleep. This old barn is home to about 100 little brown bats. The tired bats fly in through the hole in the roof. They grab the rafters with their back feet, and all day long they will hang upside down. This is how bats sleep. All the little brown bats in the barn are female. They like the barn. It's warm and quiet. Nobody uses it. It will be a safe place to bring up their young. This little brown bat is ready to have her baby. She hangs by her front claws. The baby comes out of her body. The mother bat has a flap of skin between her legs, and she spreads out the flap and catches the baby in it. The mother has to move fast. It's a long way to the floor of the barn. Soon there are about 100 baby bats in the old barn. At night, the mother bats go out to hunt. When they come back, all the little babies are crying for food. Week, week, week. Each mother knows her own baby's voice. She flies right to it. She washes its face and lets it drink some of her milk. By the end of August, the nights are getting colder and the mothers cannot find enough insects to eat. It's time for the little brown bat to move to a different home for the winter. Night after night they fly. One morning, just before sunrise, they come to a big cave. Male and female bats will sleep in the cave all winter. Thousands of bats come back to the same cave every year. When spring comes, the bats wake up slowly. They squeak and fly around the cave. Then, one evening, all the bats fly out of the door of the cave. Whoosh! Outside the cave, a barn owl sits high in the tree. Suddenly, the owl swoops down. Just in time, the young bat darts out of the way. A little brown bat may live to be 20 years old. During the summers, he will not live with his mother. He will join a group of male bats underneath the old bridge. Little brown bats usually live in the country. Another kind of bat, the big brown bat, is often seen in cities. Sometimes it sleeps in church steeples or in attics. A big brown bat may even fly right through an open window. Big brown bats are peaceful animals. If one gets into your house, don't be scared. It's probably just a young bat. It is probably lost and scared too. Why are so many people afraid of bats? Maybe they've heard that bats like to land in people's hair, but that's not true. Some people even believe stories about vampires, like Count Dracula. Dracula could turn into a bat. He drank the blood of sleeping people. But Dracula is not a real person. You will only meet him in books and in horror movies. In China, people are not afraid of bats. They think that seeing a bat is good luck. A good gift is a lucky charm with a picture of 5 flying bats. It's a sign of happiness. Years ago, there were many more bats. Some caves had millions in them. Now, many of those caves have been filled in, and some have been turned into tunnels for cars. Hikers sometimes disturb bats, too. If bats wake up in the middle of winter, they can starve to death. This is because there are no insects left to eat.
Yeah, they hibernate in the winter. They go to sleep. Now scientists are starting to protect bat caves. Some people are even building bat houses. Bats can live in them during the summer. You can see there's a little house on that tree. It's kind of like a birdhouse, but instead of having a hole for them to fly in, there's actually these like slats of wood, and they kind of squeeze their way in there. Bats like to squeeze in between those little pieces of wood. Bats help to control insects. A tiny bat can catch up to 600 mosquitoes in an hour. One thing bats do not like is pollution. If there's lots of bats around, it means that the air and the water are probably clean. That's why it's really good luck to see a bat.
You want to see something super creepy but cool? Here's a picture of a bat skeleton. Take a look at this thing. It looks just like a person, doesn't it? Except it's got long, creepy fingers. Wow, that's the hand of the bat that's inside of those wings. You can even see the little thumb sticking up. And check out those feet. Woo! How cool is that? Remember when I said I had a bat in my house? Well, I happened to get that on video. It happened at night. I have no idea how this bat got in my house, but it was flying around one night. Now, bats, like all wild animals, well, like a lot of wild animals, can carry a germ called rabies. And if you get bit by an animal with rabies, you can get very sick. So I did it to make sure that I wasn't going to get bit by this bat, put some gloves on my hands. The best way to get rid of a bat in your house is to just open the window and somehow get it out. That bat does not want to be in your house any more than you want it in your house. So here's how we solve this problem.
Oh, he's so cute. Come on, buddy, out the window. Where is he?
Pippa!
Come on.
It's a good thing Pippa has terrible aim.
Oh! Peppy, don't get him. There, he's out.
Almost. You got him out?
He's out. I don't know where he went, but he's out.
Not our problem.
Here are two more quick videos about bats. The first one is a cute song about echolocation. The second one is a picture of little baby flying fox bats that lost their mommy. They're so cute.
Echo, 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 echolocation. I find my prey, I find my way. Echolocation. I'm a little brown bat, hungry for a midnight snack. The sound wave blast, I release to find food fast. Bionic ears, ultrasonic frequencies I can hear. I sleep all day, upside down in my cave. I fly by night, don't need light, eat meals in flight. Echo, 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 echolocation. I find my prey, I find my way. Echolocation. A squeal like that hits an insect, bounces back. Sound reflections will determine my direction. Echo, 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 echolocation. I find my prey, I find my way. Echolocation. Echo, 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 echolocation. I find my prey, I find my way. Echolocation.
project time. You're going to need this bat template for your art project. Take a screenshot and print it out. Here's an overview of the supplies needed. I'll describe them next.
Here's what you're going to need to make your very own bat art project. You're going to need the bat template, which you should have just printed out. If you're going to make the bat on black paper or brown paper, you're going to need 8.5 by 11 of that. And if you're going to trace it on there, you're going to need probably a white crayon, because tracing with a black crayon doesn't work. If you're going to make your bat on the white paper, you're going to need something to color it in, some color crayons. You're going to need 2 Google eyes. You're going to need a small piece of pipe cleaner for the feet. And then you're going to need some glue and some tape, as well as a scissors to cut everything out. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is figure out what color bat you want. Now, my bat's going to be black, like a regular bat, but you could make yours rainbow colored or brown or green or whatever. That's what the white paper's for. If you want to make a super colorful bat, go ahead and color this in what other color you want. Now, what I did is I actually cut this one out, and using my white crayon, I traced the outside onto a piece of black paper so that it looked like this. And then I cut that piece out so it looked like that. Either way, you're going to need to make that shape, that bat shape, color it in, cut it out until you have this in whatever you're going to do. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold up the wings. So you'll notice on this piece of paper, there's some dotted lines. That's to show you a guide. You don't need to color those, to trace those on your paper. That's just to show you where to fold, but I'll show you too. So on this bat, there's a line right where the body is. I'm going to fold my wing in like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Just fold it in. Do the same thing on the other side. So that creates the body and the fold that way. Now, I'm going to close one wing, and you see there's a little triangle right here and a triangle right here? I'm going to match those. That's where the other dots are. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but the idea is the bat's wings kind of flip in like that. I'll do the same thing over here. Fold that closed, and then fold it back open, so that my little bat's wings can open and shut. Isn't that cute? Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add his eyes. Now, this is his tush. This part's his tush, this round part. And this part up here is his eyes, his head. So his eyes are gonna go right there. So I'm gonna get my big sticky glue. Now, glue sticks don't work very well for this. You kind of have to use regular glue. Oops, and mine's not working too well. So I'm gonna use it with my fingers. I'm just gonna take a little bit of glue, put one there, one there. There we go. And I'm gonna put my eyes on there. Stick. And stick. So the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add his little feet. I have here my pipe cleaner. I'm gonna bend it in half, kind of like a U shape. And I'm gonna lay it right there on his tush. Using a piece of clear tape, I tape it down. Ta-da! To be careful picking him up. I don't want his eyeballs to fall off. And now I can curl this pipe cleaner over and I can hang it from something, like a string or maybe a stick, because I have here my little bat. But like I just said, make sure your eyeballs are dry before you do this, so they're gonna strip down your face. Isn't he cute? I think I'll name him George.
Special snack time.
This week's science discussion does not have a special cooking project, but it does have a special themed snack, something you can easily make yourself and have as a snack. Here it is, your own bat snack. Here's what you're gonna need to make your very own bat themed snack. Banana, you don't need a whole banana, just some pieces. Apple slices, and then something for the eyeballs, either raisins or chocolate chips. I only had the little chocolate chips, those work too. So to make our little snack, I've taken the peel off the banana. The apples I've already cut into slices. Those are my wings. And this is my body. And there's two ways you can do this. The easy way is to just cut the banana into little circles and add your wings. There's my little bat wings. And then add some eyes. Ta-da! two little bats flying on the plate. Weep, 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 weep. Or another way is you can cut it the long way. Maybe cut out some little ears, little pointy ears, and then add wings and eyeballs. There we go. Our little bats. See? Yum, 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 yum. 3 little bats. My special themed bat snack. Well, that's all I have this week on bats. Bats are a super cool nocturnal critter. Bats are cool. And you know what? Science is cool.